What up, world? It's your boy Random Rant, coming to you with a live podcast for the day. Oh man, today I want to talk about the cannabis. Oh man, how should I begin this? This is probably one of the most sickening things to watch on the internet. Any video on World Star right now being played, I don't care if it's a jackrabbit getting fucked in the ass by a lion, whatever crazy shit y'all got for the day. Nothing is more sickening and shocking than seeing this choke video of Mr. Canibus against Dizaster. Oh man. Oh man, if you haven't seen it, man, this is something you need to see. Man, especially if you're a fan of hip hop, you will be shocked. Um, I mean, you got Canibus going against Dizaster. It's a hyped battle or whatever. You got hip hop fans on the edge of their seats, ready to hear what's gonna happen. And the battle gets cracking. And in the beginning, Canibus came with it. In my opinion, I think that Canibus has some good lines in there. He has some good wordplay, and he was ready. You know what I'm saying? He was going at Dizaster. He had some. He started off funny. He said the first thing he said was, "Those those look like Tom Cruise mom shoes." Wow! Like already off the bat, just a hit Dizaster with his own game because Dizaster, he's just full of jokes. Canibus comes off the bat with a Dizaster type line. So I'm thinking, oh man, everybody in the crowd was already, yes, it's gonna happen. This is gonna be epic. So we get into it, and he had some good lines. He even, talked about, going at Slaughterhouse. He said, I got enough rhymes to snuff all four of them dudes. Like, he was just coming with it, had good lines and everything. So his first, and then towards the end of the first round, you kind of seen Canibus pausing a lot, and at first you didn't, because they pause a lot when they freestyle battle. Dizaster do it, everybody do it. They pause for like for the crowd reactions and just pause to think about the rhyme. But Canibus kept doing it, and after about the 10th time he did it, you got the idea of, oh, he's trying to memorize his rhymes. He took this long pause where everybody was like, oh, it kind of sunk in with everybody, like, oh, okay, we see what he's doing. And it happens about the 10-minute mark into the battle, and then you like, oh, and the crowd is, oh my God, give it to us, Biss, give it to us, Biss, whatever, get him. And then he would pop in and pop out in the beginning. He would pause for like 30 seconds to come back and remember some of his rhymes, start hitting you with a couple more lines, okay, and then towards the end, and then at the end of the first round, he just took this long pause. Dizaster took it in from there, like, I think it's my turn. Dizaster comes in and spits oh man, Dizaster wraps circles around him in his first round verse. First he came out, he said, I'm gonna do like you. I'm gonna teach you. He said, I ain't gonna, speak directly. I'm gonna, spit some hip hop shit that'll teach you something. He talked about breaking down some chemical and bringing it to H2O or some shit. Man, it was crazy. And then he stopped and was like, y'all thought I was gonna really spit some shit like that? Like, whoo. Crowd was just, going crazy. So here, as he kept going, he just kept spitting, and he finished off that first round something special. Dizaster did, and it was just sad to see. Really, it started to sink in with me after the first round. It was like, it was basically, I felt like it was Canibus being humbled. I felt like it was it felt like it was like the roast. You know how Comedy Central has these roast of people, roast of Charlie Sheen, roast of Flavor Flav, roast of Hasselhoff. Well, this seemed like the roast of Canibus because he sat there with his shades on, head kind of slanted down with a smirk on his face, and Dizaster was telling him, because the Dizaster, you could tell he's a fan of Canibus the way he went about it. He actually said a dope line. I'm gonna refer to it a little later, but he was just sitting there just grilling him. Like, he had this part that I thought was just amazing when he said, you went with LL, he bodied you on the track, and then you talked about how hip hop, everything has a meaning, whatever, and you do this for hip hop. But if that was true, you wouldn't have did that in the first place. And he talked about, because all the Canibus fans, they know that he don't change. But then he tried to flip flop a little bit, try to get a little mainstream, but then it didn't work. Then every time it don't work, He talked about how he do it for hip hop. That's why he's still on the ground and not revolving. And all that. So, Dizaster was like, I hate when they flip flop, and then when they do bad, they claim they stuck true to hip hop. And I thought that was a true line. Like, I thought it was true. He explained, Canibus kind of his career, and it just felt like the roast. And the worst thing was I think in the second round when Dizaster told Canibus, he said, he said, you. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the what he said, but he was just like, basically, you are, unique to hip hop. But he said you are unique to hip hop. Damn, I can't think of the line. I just remember he said you're unique to hip hop, but don't grill me for this. Damn. You are unique. Oh, okay, I know what he said. He said something about you being unique to hip hop. He said you are to me, or but I feel like I'm putting my own dog to sleep or something like that. And I thought that was crazy. Basically, he's saying like, I you're my buddy or whatever. Like, you're my, I've enjoyed you. I enjoy your work, but damn, I feel like I'm putting one of my own favorites, to bed. And basically he did that. And he Canibus had a sling on his arm, and Dizaster said, it's no wonder you're in the sling, because you've never been a good shoulder to lean on. And basically saying like you were never somebody that stuck true to what your words or anything. And so Dizaster, man, he even if you don't think he won the battle, I think that he humbled Canibus with some of his words and some of his lines. Of course, he had the funny lines of, I'm Peter Griffin. I ain't Peter Griffin, so why am I beefing with this chick? And that's Dizaster. He's known to do that, to give you the funny stuff. But I took more of the stuff he said at Canibus' career and him being a fan. Like, I took those words to heart. Like, man, because everybody, if you're a real hip hop fan, you love Canibus. But man, you just have to admit, man, Dizaster came with it. And Canibus didn't. I just think that it was embarrassing for Canibus to come on KOTD and bring a notepad. That I never would have imagined. And on top of that, you all right? You told Dizaster he won. All right, Dizaster, you won. But let me spit it. If he won, you should have just walked off. You would have been better just walking off the stage and looking like that than to sit there and read. And when you're reading your notepad, you sitting there picking out bars and you trying to recite the first round knockout, but you already did that in the first round. So it's like, why are you gonna do it again? And then you didn't even do it right. And then you try to bring up Andy Milonakis. It's like, dog, it just made him look stupid. And I'm mad that Canibus put out that notebook and made himself look like that. Damn. And Dizaster, the look. If you ain't watched the video, man, just fast forward all the way to like the last 2 minutes, and you'll see Dizaster's face. He looking at the camera like, "Are you serious?" And it's no way. Canibus' career should have been slaughtered. The last memory you'll probably have of him is being demolished by Dizaster, a rap battle person. It shouldn't end like this. This same guy who battled against LL Cool J, arguably one of the best of all time, if not the greatest, to some people. He went up to Eminem, same thing, arguably the greatest to some people. And he battled with these people, and those in his career has been slaughtered by Dizaster. That's no disrespect to Dizaster, who I respect, and I know he freestyle good. I've seen a lot of Dizaster, and I know he's good. He's won a lot of matches, but he's lost to, in my opinion, people might get on me, but the battle against Locksmith, or is that his name, Locksmith? Locksmith, I feel, ripped Dizaster. It was a good battle. Both sides had good stuff, but Locksmith beat him, in my opinion. So he is beatable. So I was optimistic. Everybody said Canibus ain't ready for this type of new era battle, but I thought, because people write in these battles, Canibus could write dope bars and memorize them. So I was in the thought of he can come out here and do it. But it turns out, I mean, Canibus, he told everybody he wrote 3 weeks preparing for Dizaster and couldn't remember none. And he's technical, not a freestyler. And that's sad. You should have just walked off. You should have just walked off the stage after Dizaster told you that, because you could tell Dizaster got him, because when Dizaster said his last word, Canibus took off his glasses. It was just like he had to wipe the sweat. Probably he had a tear. He probably shed a tear. But anyway, so I just never would have thought Canibus would have got bodied by, a freestyle battler, an underground, success named Dizaster. That's no disrespect to Dizaster, who is a beast. I've already said this. He is a beast. But Canibus, it's just been sad last year, couple months for you. Blogging against J. Cole when J. Cole album was around. Like, man, people already looked at him like, man. Then going against Slaughterhouse and beefing with other people. It's just been sad to see him, his fall. To see him, as man, he's hit ground zero. But I'm gonna wrap this up and just say, man, Canibus, man, R.I.P. And you had a good career. You had good albums. But man, you gotta hang that mic up. And congratulations to Dizaster. You slaughtered a beast.